you mentioned something at the start when we started talking about the first Ridgeline project about going up and scouting it. How has that changed over these projects with who you can bring in? Because there's not many people who will go up with you and go, yeah, it looks all right, that mate. Yeah, it's a good idea, this. So how do you build the team to allow you to do these projects? And be creative?
That's a very good question, actually.
Thank you.
And I think there's two dangers to it. There's a danger of having someone along that's a bit too negative and a bit like, they just say no to almost everything, and it kind of brings that, like, kills your buzz a little bit.
Yeah.
But then also the danger of having someone that's like
an enabler,
a bit of a yes man along. Yeah. Which is also a danger.
Dude, like, there is no more turbocharged example of that than Rampage. I would feel like I honestly,
you've had a lot of examples,
mate. Sometimes like someone will ask you, it doesn't even have to be like the person you're digging for. It can be someone else. Someone will ask you a question, you're just like, I like literally pause like that.
Yeah, because
you can say,
don't say the wrong thing here.
Yeah, and the wrong thing can go either way. They can be like, oh, I'll ask Ollie. He's like a squid. He won't. If he'd do it, then I'll definitely do it. Or it can go the other way. It can be like...
But I think this is why you're such a good man to have with you at Rampage, because you're that great mix of like bloody good rider, knows how to build well, but also, you've got that kind of ability to look into enough detail to like say, actually, that isn't probably going to work, or that doesn't look like it's going to come together.
That's very kind to say, but I've had moments where I know I've said the wrong thing. Like, I know I have. Because Bren will do it.
Bren's still here, though.
Like, he'll be like, right, it tends to be like 3 runs. That's how stupid we've been growing up. You don't do more than 3 runs. That's dangerous. But, like, be second run and there'll just be a last-minute check. And I know on those last-minute checks, all he needs is positivity. And sometimes I can't give it because I'm like, I actually don't know. We've done everything we can. We've made it as safe as physically possible. And I've listened back to some GoPros, and he's like, "It's on, isn't it?" And all he needs is a yes.
Yeah.
But then for me, that's too much of a big. I'm probably way too much of an overthinker. Probably the ideal person is more. I'd say Brody's probably a good.
Yeah. It's taken a little bit of time, but we've put together this small crew, this small unit that work really well together. Like my brother is a great person to have along because he's a really good, like, I know him really well. I know if he says, the speed on that's wrong, or the gap doesn't look right, or that land, like, he knows, that stuff better than anyone. And
he's not scared to tell you it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And if it is gnarly, but he thinks it's honey, he'll be like, yeah, just do it. You're going to do this. But, he's not going to come on these big mountain projects because he would have to leave Mac. He would have to leave Dovey.
He's got a big mountain project of his own, hasn't he?
Yeah, he's got his own project on there. So we've put together this little unit, this little team of guys, of this little crew, and they work, so well together. Because we're always in quite gnarly environments, a bit bleak, you're tired, you're a bit knackered, you're probably going to spend the night sleeping somewhere that's pretty average. And if you don't have someone that's, going to stay, pretty buoyant and positive in those times, they become a bit of a drag to hang out with after a few weeks in that environment.
Yeah.
And then added to that, once you're exhausted and knackered, or, somewhere too hot or cold, and then you suddenly having to ride something that's actually quite tricky, suddenly you're having to go from just being in this kind of mountain survival, just get through it, slog through it type scenario, to like a performance scenario where you're having to be like alert and sharp and like wide awake and not tired from that 3-hour climb up, or not tired from like, the 2 weeks of filming you've already done. You've got to be like ready to go. And the team around you is so important then.
Yeah.
Like you were just saying, sometimes you just need someone that's a bit positive and just a bit like, yeah, this is good.
I think also it like becomes clear when you've got a drone chasing you down a spire, but it's actually quite a lonely endeavour. If this was truly George climbing up to the top of the hill and just going riding, It's a very lonely, weird ride, isn't it?
Mm.
Whereas when you've got the right people around you, it
Yeah,
makes it
absolutely.
like we're all up here, we're all doing it together, and
Yeah.
I feel like it probably like it's almost about like hiding the danger at that point.
A little bit. And I know that, like, because I know them well, and I know that if I ask them something and they respond in a certain way, you know, that's kind of the response I was expecting. Or, you know, I know if certain boys on the team are saying this is dangerous, this is too much, that, you know, I'll use it to sense check what I'm thinking, you know. For example, we were in Switzerland last year, and we'd hiked to the top of this mountain, and it didn't work out how we expected to get to the peak to film like this beautiful, you know, evening sunlight shot. We couldn't get to like the summit. We reached this like cliff on the backside, and I was just like, we've been climbing all day. We need to get up there. We need to get up there now. We'll just climb it. And then Brody was like, you know what? If we do, someone could die here. This is pretty gnarly. We don't have any equipment. This is too dangerous. And when Brody was saying that to me, I was like, oh shit, I need to pay attention here.
So it takes a Brody, really, doesn't it? Like if I'd
Yeah.
said it, you'd have been like, shut up. Really though, for real though, right?
You would have said it would be fine.
Which would have also been the wrong answer.
Probably. No, but you need people you know well, and you know them, like, you know, if they're saying no to something and they're telling you not to do something, then you need to listen to them, because, you know, these are guys that are used to being in dangerous environments, and they're used to taking risks themselves, you know.
Yeah.
And if they're suddenly like, gee, you've been an idiot, you're rushing into this, you know, someone's going to get really hurt again here, let's not do it, then it will like cut through my, like, you know, red mist of just get on with it type.
The mountain needs to be climbed. It needs to be climbed.
Think of the likes, Brody.
Yeah, think of that shot, because I do get into that, and I need someone just to like cut through that and be like, you know, slap, bang, yeah, you've been an idiot, don't take that risk.
Have you had much mountaineering? Because this is kind of mountaineering we're talking about now, like big mountaineering stuff. Before these projects.
Okay.
Okay.
Hey man, what an episode that was. You did amazing in it.
And so did you.
You shone like a star.
You shone like a moon.
Can we also put something up here that you can click on for the next episode?
How about we put a subscribe up there in the middle?
Yeah, I love
We're going to put a video we think that our lovely companionship will love on your face.
On my face?
Yeah. And
So
on
they can't see me now?
Gone. And on my face, another video that we think people will love. And thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. Please hit like and subscribe. You guys are the best.
Peace and love.